Hello, everybody, and welcome to We Talk About Stuff, the podcast where we do exactly that. Today I am joined with my friend, the Stupendous Wave.
From now on, I will be doing the intros.
No, you will not. The intros are mine, because this is my baby.
They take too long.
I'm sorry. Basically, I have this ritual.
I'm not saying like they take 10 minutes. They take an hour. I
have a ritual for doing these podcasts, which is to complain and not know what to do for an hour long, and then we start the podcast. Just want to quickly say before we actually start the podcast, recently hit 500 subscribers, and that was incredible. That was just a great thing to see everybody responding to it. People on the last podcast were just commenting like crazy. There was like over 80 or 90 comments or something, and there's over like 120 likes on it. And everybody was just so great, and I'm so happy that everybody's enjoying it. And I know that a lot of people liked that little Jurassic Park score I did in the beginning. A lot of people thought that was really funny. So in honor of that, since I'm not going to sing another Jurassic Park score, I wrote a theme song. I'll do this. Whenever there's like a Superman news, like Batman v Superman, I'll sing the Superman score. And if there's a Back to the Future reboot, I'll sing the Back to the Future score. Basically, the scores are going to follow the news if people want that. But I wrote a theme song for the channel, or for the podcast. It's really bad, and it has 2 chords in it, and it's just the title, but I hope you guys like it. It goes, we talk about stuff. We talk about stuff.
I wrote it.
I'm going to try to play it in every podcast.
I wrote it.
I'll never record it. I'm never going to record it and do it professional or anything and then sit in front of the videos. I'm just going to wing it every time and make it really horrible.
That ukulele drives me mad.
I need it for my own amusement. But
Anyway,
let's get into some of the news that's been coming out. First off, really quickly, it's been announced who the writers to the next Spider-Man movie is going to be. I do not know their names because I do not care. All I know is they're writing Vacation right now, and Vacation looks pretty good, so I'm pretty excited. And in other news, since there's no comment on Stupes and I,
how can I comment on something if I haven't seen it?
I'm sorry. Just say, hey,
it's news.
It's news.
Oh yeah, it's fantastic. I love it. They couldn't have picked a better choice. Interesting that they're going with the comedy way.
Well, I mean, you can't judge anybody for going comedy when you get the Russo brothers to direct, Captain America 2,
I wonder what it's going to be about. I don't know.
John Hughes. It's going to be John Hughes. Also, here's another thing, actually, that I thought was funny, is the writers actually commented on the Spider-Man movie itself, and they said that mostly on Peter Parker's character, they commented. They said, he's going to be like a little geeky kid who, has a very sharp wit and will kind of use comedy as like a defense mechanism while he's in high school because he's, an outcast nerd, and they're going for that. And when I heard this news, I went like, yeah, that's Peter Parker. And then also I went, no shit. Like,
that's what I was just
Thank
you guys so much for telling me what Spider-Man
Exactly. I was like, Jesus, could they give any less information other than the basic character traits of Peter Parker through the entire, 60 years of his existence through the comics? Like,
he might as well told us that his name's going to be Peter in the movie.
You should have said, our character's name is Peter Parker, and he's gonna get bit by a spider. And I mean, they really gave no information, but I feel like, you know, they also said something like that. I believe they said, I might be just making this up, but I'm pretty sure I'm pretty sure they said that they kind of felt like they could relate to Peter Parker because they're total nerds and they were like nerdy outcast losers through their like high school career or whatever.
We all know a nerdy outcast loser.
Yeah, I was a nerdy outcast loser. I relived high school a lot today by thinking about how horrible it was. But,
I'm sorry.
Yeah, it was pretty
I loved
bad.
high school.
Yeah, basically, freshman year, I did the gym class or whatever, and for some reason, I never made the switch to boxers, and I still wore tidy whities. So, people
Wait,
would...
this is high school?
This is freshman year of high school.
What is wrong with you?
I wore
man?
tidy whities all of freshman year, and I would change my clothes, and everybody... in gym classes, everybody would make fun of me for wearing tidy whities. And then sophomore year, I changed to boxers, and I never... ever since that year ended, I've been thinking, why didn't I switch to boxers in freshman year to stop all the people from making fun of me? I mean, I guess I was just depressed or something, but I never made that switch in my head. Like, I don't know why, but I relived high school today. I was thinking about that all day. It was a horrible day.
Sorry, people make fun
Yeah,
of you.
so that was pretty annoying.
That's not cool.
Anyway, in other news,
Anthony's a nerd.
I'm a nerd. George R. Martin commented on Marvel's villains, and he's right in some ways, but he said something that kind of makes me a little upset. And he said that Marvel villains generally have the same power as the hero, so it leads into not interesting, fight scenes. Which in some cases is true because he used Ant-Man and Yellow Jacket as an example, and they do pretty much have the same power. He mentioned Iron Man and Ironmonger. That's totally true. It's just two Iron Man suits. And then he mentioned Spider-Man and Venom, to which I said, I'm sorry, George R. Martin. Did you forget Green Goblin and Sandman and Dr. Octopus and the Rhino and Electro and the Vulture and Kingpin and Shocker? They don't all have the same powers. Why does he think that Spider-Man's only villain is Venom?
And Black Cat.
Black Cat.
And
Scorpion.
And Scorpion. And who else is there?
Now, I know he probably understands that Spider-Man has more villains, but I just thought in that case it was funny because Spider-Man's only fought Venom once in a movie, and it was shit because Venom was shit. But it was in a really good, or at least what I consider to be a really good trilogy of Spider-Man movies where there was other villains that weren't any bit related to Spider-Man's powers. And even the Venom symbiote, naturally would have the powers of Spider-Man because of the origin. But
my mind just blew up. Boom! I just thought of something.
What did you...
DC's key to success, or one of them, could be to put different characters against each other. I think that's what they're doing. It's like Batman v Superman, two completely different power sets. So,
Suicide Squad v Joker. I'm waiting for that tagline to come out at the end of Suicide Squad.
Also, here's my opinion about the George R. R. Martin thing. I don't care.
I know you don't care. But people are talking about it, and I figured, well, we might as well talk about it too. But I don't.
So sensitive about everything.
I know.
But anyway, oh, you don't like Marvel? I hate you.
I hate you, you stupid idiot. And but I love. You know what I think honestly about this George R. R. Martin thing is, why is he even outside talking to people when he should be writing Game of Thrones?
Yeah, how dare he have a
How dare he have a life? He has to finish those books before he dies. I know that sounds horrible, but if you are listening to this, George R. R. Martin, if for some reason you find yourself stumbling upon my podcast, listen to this word of advice I give you right now. Finish the fucking book. Okay, buddy?
Oh, Anthony, I was unaware that you read Game of Thrones. How many have you read?
Finish the book so I can watch the show, asshole.
How many have you read? Exactly.
I've literally read 0 pages of a Game of Thrones book. But I'll watch the show any day, any night, any time zone.
I recommend you stop complaining when you haven't read a man's books.
I'm sorry.
Jar Jar R.
I take it back, George. I take it back, George. Are you happy?
I love you. Don't listen to him.
He's
a Marvel fanboy.
I take it back.
You took it back. I win. We win, George.
You guys win. I'm sorry. In other news, keeping the Marvel train going, just because I know that for some reason Stupes doesn't like talking about Marvel. This is really quick. I'm not even going to comment on it that much. Rachel McAdams is in Doctor Strange.
Ow.
Or she is reportedly.
She was good in Southpaw, by the way.
Yeah, I heard she was good in Southpaw. You told me.
She's not as good as Jake Gyllenhaal.
Yeah.
Jake Gyllenhaal is perfect.
Actually, talking about Doctor Strange, I read like an article about Tilda Swinton being the Ancient One, and how it's strange that they changed the Ancient One into a woman because she was typically he was typically a man in the comics, pretty much, not typically, always, which is fine. There's no reason why that's they can't change it to a woman.
No one's gonna be mad.
Yeah, I love Tilda Swinton, and when I heard the news, I was like, that's awesome. But I heard something really interesting, and there's a rumor going around that Tilda Swinton is playing a man as the Ancient One.
Well, if any actress could do it,
that's what I said. Like, Tilda Swinton could totally pull that off.
But I think she should be a woman.
I think so too, but I thought that was interesting. Like, I don't care how they go. I'd like to see the Ancient One as a woman. I'd like to see the Ancient One as a man. It doesn't matter to me. But I just care that Tilda Swinton is playing the character because she's incredible. But anyway, that's
also,
some of what.
I feel like Doctor Strange might be the next. I'm more excited for Doctor Strange than I am for Infinity War.
I love Doctor Strange. I can't wait to see his origin, because I thought his origin in the comics is one of like the best superhero origins ever, because it's so fucking depressing. Because it's just it's not depressing. It's not like his parents were killed in front of him like Batman. Yeah. But I mean, it's literally a man who loses his hands. He loses his hands and then does nothing. He
does not lose.
He doesn't lose them, but he basically loses them. They're all broken and fucked up and stupid. He can't be a surgeon, so he dedicates his entire life and all of his money to try to fix his hands so he can become a surgeon again, and does nothing but fail.
Everything.
He fails and becomes a washed up loser pretty much, and
he's a loser.
And it's sad because it's sad for multiple reasons. Because one, he has to go through that journey of just depression, and two, it's sad that he cares about it as much as he can and can't find another path in life.
You want to know what it's gonna say on Stephen Strange's tombstone?
It's gonna
loser. If you can tell me where that's from, what that's from, you win.
I can't tell you what it's from.
Not you. Somebody in the comments.
Well, just so you know, I can't tell you either.
It's from The Office.
Oh.
You want to know what it's gonna say on your tombstone? Loser. Anyway, yeah. And I don't mind Marvel. I'm just a little bit. I need a break.
I got you.
I'm glad that Civil War comes out in 2016. But we got 2 movies. We got a movie in May, and then we had June off, and then we had one in July. And I'm like, yeah, Marvel, woo! But I'm tired.
Well, luckily, the next bit of news isn't Marvel related. So, I'm going to butcher his name. I'm pretty sure I'm going to butcher his name, but Rob McElhenney is directing Minecraft, which I think is incredible. If you don't know who Rob McElhenney is, he plays the character Mac on It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, and he created the show It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia and writes it, and I don't know if he's directed it. I don't know how big of a hand he has in that, but he's basically the main creative force behind the TV show. And
I conduct an ocular pat down.
Yeah.
And assist.
It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia is so goddamn funny, especially the character of Mac, because of just weird things. Mac is obsessed with karate, and he does karate all the time, but he has no idea how to do karate. Like, so he just waves his hands in the air and makes sound effects like and he's an incredible character. He bangs a transvestite in the very beginning of the show, and he's very religious, and he's very right wing for very weird reasons. And like, not only that, but they start making it in the show that like he's been secretly gay, and then like they keep making him seem gayer, which there's nothing wrong with being gay. It's totally fine. It's just this funny thing because the character Mac hates homosexuality. Like there's a whole episode called Mac versus gay marriage, and he says if you're gay you go to hell, but he's so gay in the show. Anyway,
Do you remember when he wrote the letter to the baseball player?
Yeah. He's like, I think you and me should have a catch. Did you have a good relationship with your dad? Me neither. And he put stickers on it. What about what was I just gonna
Let's not turn this into this.
Yeah, I know. We're not gonna turn. Anyway,
it's good.
It's Always Sunny is a very good TV show.
I like him.
If you haven't watched it, please watch it. But I really like the idea of him coming on and directing Minecraft, because I think Minecraft is a dumb premise for a movie. Same way people thought that the Lego movie was a dumb premise. It's like a movie about Legos. I mean, but the Lego movie ended up great. And now I'm very excited for Minecraft because I know how funny this guy is. And I heard he's going to take a different approach.
Is this his first full-length feature?
I think it is his first full-length feature.
That's
He's written a lot of stuff, but this is the first movie he's directing. And I know that right now he has another movie he's working on, which is apparently like, it's not a superhero movie. I heard him talking about it. It's not a superhero movie, but it's supposed to be like some sort of like family movie where the people in the family kind of have some sort of incredible power. But he says like very clearly it's not like a superhero movie. But that being said, it's probably going to end up being a superhero movie. But
I'd like to see a superhero movie where someone gets powers and they do what a regular person would do, superpowers.
Yeah.
I'd love to see a movie just about that. I'd go see that
Well,
movie.
they already made that when they made Chronicle. Because in Chronicle, they got superpowers and they go to like a toy store and fuck with kids.
Oh, that's a good point. That's a good movie.
That's a really good movie. I love when in that movie where they move the lady's car and she walks back in the parking lot and she's looking for her car, and Michael B. Jordan's like, oh, it wasn't the black man, don't blame the black man.
Awesome.
So the next bit of news I think we're going to go a little bit in depth into, which is a few weeks ago, they announced that there's going to be a Killing Joke animated movie. Which, if you guys haven't read The Killing Joke, it's a comic book about the Joker, and it's a very great comic book. That's all I can say about it. I read it a long time ago. I can't really remember all that much that happened. But this comic book affected the DC universe all across the board for the most part. This is the book that put Barbara Gordon in a wheelchair. This is the book that killed Jason Todd. You know, there's
no.
Am I wrong?
It doesn't kill Jason Todd.
That's where
Death in the Family.
No, idiot! You don't know your books. Am I wrong? Did I confuse books?
Death in the Family is Jason Todd.
Well, sorry. It's the book that crippled Barbara Gordon.
Everybody. Anthony, shh. Killing Joke revolves around the Joker wanting to prove to Batman that if in one bad night can make somebody go crazy. And Batman's actually not the target. Jim Gordon is the target. So basically, he shoots Barbara Gordon, and the Joker does, not Jim Gordon, because that'd be weird. But he basically puts Commissioner Gordon through the worst night ever. He straps him to a carnival ride and watches and forces him to watch him torture Barbara Gordon. And then basically, Batman's hunting him down the whole night, and it gets to it, and it's one of my favorite comic book moments where Gordon, after being through really the worst night of his life, he says to Batman, bring him in, and bring him in by the book, because if you hurt this guy, then you're proving that he's right, which is what's awesome about the Joker, is because it's more important to him to prove a point than to be successful in whatever plot that he's doing. And yeah, that's a Killing Joke. That's what the Killing Joke is about.
Well, sorry, I got confused.
Don't get mad.
I'm not mad.
I saved you.
Thank you.
Death in the Family is Jason Todd.
So there was more news that just came out about the Killing Joke movie, is that they're getting Mark Hamill to return and do the voice of the Joker, which I love, because Mark Hamill does the Joker voice no other person could do.
Now announce Kevin Conroy to be Batman.
Yeah, that would be fantastic.
Because for those of you that don't know, Kevin Conroy is my favorite Batman.
It sucks that Kevin Conroy doesn't look like Batman in real life.
Oh, he's so skinny.
Yeah, I know. I wish that dude was built like Ben Affleck so he could play Batman. I love Ben Affleck's casting. I dig that he's the new Batman. But Kevin Conroy is his voice is the perfect personification of Batman. When you hear his voice, that's Batman. Yes. When you hear Mark Hamill's Joker, that's Joker.
My Joker's Heath Ledger. Well, we could have multiples, but my favorite Joker's Heath Ledger. Mark Hamill does a fantastic job, but my favorite Batman, like I said, is Kevin Conroy. He's great. I love him. Mark Hamill would have made a good Joker if he was younger.
Yeah.
Because he looks like him.
Yeah, right? I thought that would have been cool. And I thought for a while, too, if when they announced that Batman v Superman was happening, before they did any of the casting, I thought to myself, since they announced it by reading that quote from The Dark Knight Returns, I thought they were going to kind of take it that Dark Knight Returns route, which I wasn't thinking they were going to kill the Joker or anything, but I'm thinking that they're going to go with an older Batman. I think that Mark Hamill would make a really great older Joker, right?
Would you dance the line there in casting an old Batman? Because He has all the potential to come off as an old fart.
Still though, like Mark Hamill, old Joker, I dig it. I dig it.
Yeah, that's great casting.
And his voice is perfect, but
Joker here.
yeah.
That was very bad. Anyway, yeah. What's next?
Oh shoot! I didn't even talk about the weekend box office.
For what?
For the weekend box office. That's what.
Okay, what is it?
Basically, I just want to talk about how nobody went to see Pixels because it was shit. I didn't even see it, and I know it was shit because everybody's saying it's shit. And
I saw Southpaw.
It makes me happy to know that, like, all these Adam Sandler movies that he makes generally make money. And I think Pixels was projected to make like $60 million or something opening weekend.
That's a lot. That's as much as Ant-Man.
Yeah. And then, 1 week of bad word of mouth turned off the entire audience. And then it made $24 million. Which, $24 million is $24 million. It is in some way something to be proud of. But that movie had a big budget and it was projected to make more. And it was very an underwhelming performance for Pixels.
Well, people are catching on.
Yeah, people are catching on that Adam Sandler hasn't made a good movie in 10 years.
Here's what I always say. People are stupid once. People are stupid twice.
And then
people can even be stupid 3 times.
They could be stupid probably like 17 times in a row.
But they're eventually gonna learn. Eventually.
Even if it took 10 years.
What did Southpaw make?
South Park made $16 million.
South Park?
Southpaw made $16 million.
16?
Yeah, it came in number 5 this weekend. And then
Pixels beat it.
Minions was number 4, and Trainwreck was number 3. And Trainwreck dropped like 40%. It did really good on its second week.
Wow. What's number 1?
Ant-Man. Ant-Man made about $25 million.
That's really good.
Yeah, that's
pretty. What week are they in?
They're in their second week, so I was shocked. I thought that Ant-Man wouldn't stay number 1 for the second week because it's like Pixels was coming out and that was going to be like, like I said, it was projected to make a ton of money. And then another movie that didn't even make it into the top 5 that I thought for a second could have taken the box office was Paper Towns, because it's the same audience as the cancer movie that I can't remember, The Fault in Our Stars.
The cancer movie.
The cancer movie. It's the same audience as The Fault in Our Stars, same author. I thought that it would have about the same numbers as The Fault in Our Stars, and I didn't realize that they barely marketed that movie, and I think it came in number 6.
Barely marketed it?
Yeah, I don't think they marketed
a ton of ads.
I've seen 1 ad or 2 ads for Paper Towns.
I've seen a lot of it.
I really think I've only seen 2, and
it's just not a movie that looked particularly interesting.
Yeah, and you know what is bad is I heard it's very good.
Really?
Yeah, I heard that it's I remember hearing that it's even better than Southpaw. Like, I've heard if you're gonna go see a movie this weekend, go see Paper Towns.
No, go see Southpaw.
I'm sure Southpaw's good. I haven't seen any of them.
I'm phenomenal. Who doesn't get pumped when they see that?
All right.
I get pumped. I want to go be a boxer.
Let's get into some...
Southpaw made me want to be a boxer.
Let's get into some speculative discussions about things and stuff. So...
Oh, I was going to say something. Real quick.
Okay.
People are like, oh, could Jurassic World beat Titanic? This is super off topic, but I'm kind of getting sick of
if it can make $500 million.
In my comments.
Yeah.
Titanic was in theaters for 8 months, guys.
That is
a long time.
That's like when people talk about Gone with the Wind. If you adjust for inflation, it's the highest grossing movie of all time. people don't realize it was in theaters for like 5 years, you know? And at the time, it wasn't like today where there are 600 and 900 movies coming out every year. There was probably a few movies that came out, and then Gone with the Wind stuck in there for like I said, like 5 years. And then same thing with A New Hope. A New Hope is like the second highest grossing movie of all time if you account for inflation. But that movie stayed in theaters for like until I think Empire came out.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it stayed in there forever.
Yeah,
So
I just wanted to say 8 months in theaters. That's why it's going to be super hard to dethrone those movies.
And like I said, it's got $500 million to go. It's going to be hard for it. It'll make more money. Like Jurassic World is not done, but they got a long run to get to Titanic.
I'm confused. Isn't Avatar number one?
Avatar is number one. Titanic is number two. But like,
how long was Avatar in theaters?
I have no idea.
Can you look that up real quick?
Yeah, I could look it up. But the way it worked was,
I bet it was in there for a long time.
Yeah, it must have been, because from what I think, Titanic made like $2 billion, and Avatar made like $2.5 billion.
I remember being in junior high when when Avatar came out, and everyone just lost their minds. And I went and saw it, and I'm like, it's fine.
God, I forget that Avatar came out in 2009.
Yeah. It's been a long time. So, yeah, I thought Avatar was fine.
Apparently, it was in theaters for 34 weeks. That's what I'm seeing. So that's a ton.
Don't make me math. What is that? You said that to me. Let's see.
Yeah. It was something on Skype where somebody was putting in a bunch of numbers, and I was like, "Don't make me math."
So what's 4 divided by 34?
I don't know, like
a billion.
No, it's like 6, right?
4, 8, 16,
I'm
20, 24.
I'm a dum-dum.
28, 32. How many is that? I just counted.
That's a lot of numbers.
It's in theaters, was that 5 months? Yeah.
Thank you for listening to the math portion of this podcast, guys, where we pretend like we know how to count.
No, that's a lot longer than that's a lot longer than.
Let's just say it was in theaters for 238 days.
8 months too. That's over 8 months. Are you sure that's right?
238 days. 238 days, exactly.
You said 34 weeks, right?
Yeah, 34 weeks, 238 days.
That's more than 8 months.
It's a long time, and that's why I made all the money.
Jeez.
So
that shouldn't be anymore.
I just want a movie to beat it already.
Yeah, I mean,
because I don't think Avatar.
Super hard.
Yeah, I know it's ridiculous. I mean, eventually something will beat it. Like something has to. I don't think it'll be the next Avatar, but something. But I just want something that's in the number one spot to be like a really fantastic movie.
Like The Dark Knight.
With like a lot of depth.
Re-release The Dark Knight and everybody go see it.
Yeah.
I'd go see it. I'd go see it.
I want movie theaters to re-release the original Star Wars trilogy.
They were going to, but then they announced Episode 7.
Because
don't you remember that? They released the Phantom Menace.
I remember they released. I don't care about the Phantom Menace.
The Phantom Menace. What do you remember? They were gonna do one every year. Yeah.
I remember, or I don't remember this. This is the point. I told my parents recently.
In theaters.
I told my parents recently that I thought it would be a great idea, and I really wanted Disney Studios to re-release the original trilogy in theaters. Like, not the special editions. Like, either, I don't know how they would do it, but just re-release the original trilogy, unaltered, and put it in theaters. And they told me that I actually saw that when I was a kid, because they did re-release it in theaters, and I actually got to see the original trilogy at the movies. The thing is, although I enjoyed the fact that I did see it, I do not remember it in the slightest because I was just too little. But now I want that to happen again so I could finally enjoy one of those movies on a movie theater screen, because I haven't been able to. I've only seen it on TV screens. So that's part of my emotional trauma with Star Wars. You think it's funny, you laugh at me, but it's true.
I remember sitting in the front row watching episode 3. That was pretty cool.
I remember seeing all the prequels.
All I remember was episode 3.
I remember episode 3 because I saw it on my brother's birthday. I remember episode 2 because even then I was like, I remember seeing Phantom Menace because I was like, Darth Maul! But I need that to happen in order to have happiness. I need re-released original trilogies. Or the original trilogy.
Yeah.
Also re-released the Toy Story trilogy. Jesus.
That'd be cool too. What's the next topic?
I know, we've gone on plenty of tangents. So, now with the announced Jurassic World 2 on June 22nd, 2018, there has been a lot of inner turmoil, oh my god, between super mega dinosaur kaiju fans about Godzilla 2 and Jurassic World 2 being so close together. Because if I understand correctly, they're only like 2 weeks apart.
2 weeks. Godzilla comes out June 8th.
So we thought we would do a versus on Jurassic World 2 and Godzilla 2.
And there should be a video about this on my channel soon, just kind of going over what I think. But here we'll go more in depth. But yeah, if it's not up already.
So how are we gonna do this, Stupes? Are we gonna pick sides, or are we just gonna talk?
I'm just gonna share my opinion because I can't fight for one doing better than the other because we already know which one's gonna do better.
Yeah,
it's gonna be Jurassic World. That's easy.
Mm-hmm.
As far as which is gonna be a better film, I still think Jurassic World.
I'm gonna say that I think the next Godzilla. I'm hoping that the next Godzilla is something really special, because I think the character Godzilla is special.
Yeah, but the rest of the movie is uneventful.
Yeah, but that's what I'm hoping they're gonna correct in the next one, because they.
Yeah, but it's the same director.
It's the same director, but the reason why I'm hopeful for this movie is because, as far as I can tell, there was only one major criticism of Godzilla, and that was he's not in the movie enough. The movie's too slow, and it's boring.
And Taylor Johnson.
He
doesn't give a bad performance, guys. Leave him alone.
That was the whole thing, though. It was like Aaron Taylor Johnson is like in the movie too much, and it's boring, and Godzilla's not in it enough. I feel like there's no way on earth that the studio didn't pick up on all that criticism. So
yeah, I believe it was a producer that said that we should see double the Godzilla.
I think it's gonna be. I think it's gonna be more, and I think there's gonna be more of whatever the villain is, whether it's Mothra or Ghidorah, or Rodan, yeah.
But I doubt he'll play a villain role.
Yeah. So, as far as which one I think is gonna be better, I'm really hoping Jurassic, or not Jurassic. I want Jurassic World 2 to be really good too, but I'm really hoping Godzilla 2 becomes something special. Because about that whole Gareth Edwards thing, regardless of what anybody ever says about that movie, he nailed Godzilla.
And it's wonderfully directed and shot and everything.
Yeah, it's I guess it's a good movie. It just needed more. But and I had a few
More of
problems
some
with
things
Jurassic
and
World.
less of others.
I had some problems with Jurassic World. I really liked it. I thought it was a really good time. But I'm just hoping that the next one has just slightly better characters. Because I thought the best characters in Jurassic World were Jake Johnson's character and Chris Pratt's character. But
Owen and Lowry.
yeah, I want just a little more. I want them to be deeper characters, and I'm just hoping for better performances. Because I found some of the performances in the movie to be pretty distracting. That being said, though, that's nothing that can't be fixed. And I'm really hoping for some new stuff with Jurassic World 2.
I'm going to say the Jurassic World 2, I think, say right now, 2015 podcast, it's going to make more than Jurassic World. I think it's going to get better reviews. I think they're going to work harder on it, honestly. That's what I think that the studio is going to do. You know what I would love to see? I would love to see Steven Spielberg direct it. Can you imagine that?
That would be pretty cool.
Can you imagine? It's like, yeah, we have like the 6 to 7 Jurassic Park series, I guess. But this would like complete our Steven Spielberg trilogy.
Yeah. I never even thought of it like that.
Yeah.
It would be pretty similar to the Bryan Singer X-Men trilogy.
Exactly. Not that it needs to be fixed, because it's been brought back, but just add to it.
Now, about the thing where it says, where you say Jurassic World 2 is gonna beat Jurassic World, I have no doubt in my mind that that's possible. I think that's very possible. At the same time, though, I had said that Avengers 2 would have beaten Avengers.
Well,
And
Avengers 2 got worse reviews.
I get that Avengers 2 got worse reviews than the first one. It wasn't overwhelmingly negative. It was just,
No,
well,
there's a lot of reviews out there that said that it just straight up sucks.
but that's just not true, though. Like,
But yeah, no, I'm not saying I agree with those.
I know, I'm
reviews.
just
saying that there's a lot of them.
those are fanboy reviews. Because no honest person is gonna go see that movie and say, "Oh, the whole thing is a piece of trash." Like, it's got problems, like most movies do, but it's not the worst movie ever made, and it certainly doesn't deserve to be criticized as the worst movie ever made. But that being said,
I'm just pointing out that that's why.
no, I know, but that's what I'm saying with Jurassic World 2 is, I mean, although it has all the potential to make more money, we just don't know. Anything could happen. And not only that, but I'm certainly sure that it's going to make more money than Godzilla. Like,
yeah.
Jurassic World 2, no matter how it's reviewed critically, or even if Jurassic World's audience doesn't want to see it, like, because Jurassic World, although a lot of people liked it, it was a bit divisive, and there were some people that really didn't like it. I don't know if that audience is going to, kind of stop going to, or won't go to it.
Nah, because think about it. We had Jurassic Park 3, which is not a good movie.
Yeah,
And
but
then we had this one.
I think this movie wasn't anywhere a sequel to Jurassic Park 3. It was like, this was a go see what Jurassic Park could be now. It was more like a nostalgic, make you feel good type of thing. You know what I mean?
Now it's
I don't
time
even know how to
take it in
explain
a
it. I don't even
serious
know that.
direction.
What?
Now it's time to take the franchise in a serious direction.
Yeah.
With a lot of nice commentary. Like, for real, weaponized dinosaurs, that could be made into a huge deal. I think, mark my words, this next movie is going to be pretty deep in parts. I think so.
I would hope so. Because, like I've been saying for a while, like, if this next sequel kind of follows all the other Jurassic Park movies, I'm gonna be disappointed, because I'm getting tired of just seeing here's the people in the place, and here are the dinosaurs. Dinosaurs, and then run away from the dinosaurs and try not to die. Like, I want to see it take a new direction. I mean, I'm
I
sure
think it will.
I'm not saying it would be a bad movie if they kept it kind of similar with all the Jurassic Park tropes, but I don't want it to do that because as far as I feel like we've gotten 4 of those movies.
I feel like Universal's gonna pour their heart and soul into this movie.
I hope so. I can't wait to find out who's directing it.
Steven Spielberg, but I know that's so unlikely. But just picture that.
Hey, he did Indiana Jones 4.
Is that his last movie?
I don't know. Maybe it was. Maybe he made that movie and then he's like, I have to retire. I can't believe I just did that.
Well, he's a producer now.
Yeah.
But just think about it. How would you react if Steven Spielberg was announced as a director?
I would probably die inside a little bit.
In a good way.
Yeah, like die inside like of, oh my god, they did it. Kind of like the same way I died a little inside when Spider-Man was announced that he was joining the Marvel Universe.
Dude, it would be like
there are moments.
I think it'd be huge news if like it's like Steven Spielberg to direct Jurassic World sequel.
There are moments for fans of franchises that make your heart stop for a second. You know what I mean?
Can you picture Saving Private Ryan meets Jurassic Park?
Oh man, that's exactly what I want. I've been pitching the sequel as basically that, and I never even noticed.
Like, give it that fun feeling, but also go in a dark direction.
And I mean,
give us a movie to remember.
You could go and make darker movies that have fun moments. I always think of Batman Begins. Like, Batman Begins is a pretty dark movie, but one of my favorite moments in that movie is when he gives the homeless man his coat as Bruce Wayne, and then later when he's Batman, he runs into the guy and he sees him wearing the coat and he goes, "Hey, nice coat." It's one of my favorite moments in that whole movie because it's that little lighthearted touch in what is a pretty depressing story, or I wouldn't say depressing story. I'd say like a bleak tone. So
I would end Jurassic World 2 on a sad note, definitely. It's a setup for a sequel.
Could you pitch your sad note for the ending? I want to hear more about this.
The dinosaurs escape on the mainland.
That's what you want. That's pretty good. I like it. So now people are just being killed by dinosaurs everywhere.
Yeah, but I mean, people would argue when it comes out, but it's not Jurassic Park anymore.
Yeah, I know, but
we need something.
We need something new. It's like I said, if you do the 5th movie and there's a bunch of people on an island and the dinosaurs are hurting everybody on the island, it's gonna be annoying. I don't know how to say it any other way. I want this franchise to go somewhere.
I'm telling you, if Steven Spielberg did this, it could be one of the biggest movies of all time, bigger than this. Don't you think?
I think that would be pretty cool. At the same time, though, if you do go in a darker direction and make it less of a family film, it might lose a little bit in the box office because people wouldn't want to take their kids. But that being said, I don't view that as an excuse to not make it, put it in that direction. Because, like I said, this movie is going to generate $1 billion in 2 weeks, no matter what movie it is. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So.
But it should go down as. Can you imagine Jurassic Park versus meets Saving Private Ryan, though?
Yeah.
That'd be one of the best movies of all time.
The point I'm trying to make is people aren't taking their kids to Saving Private Ryan.
No, but they're talking about it.
They'll talk about it for sure. And I guess they'll show their kids when they're older, but I would say that would affect the immediate box office.
Yeah. Or they could redo the fun route, and I'd be cool with that too.
I want a dark route. Some of my favorite moments in all of Jurassic Park movies are the dark moments. They are my, I would say they're more important to me, or I remember them way more than the happy moments. Other
You
than
know,
like the
you
end of
know the
Jurassic Park.
tone of like we're starting to get with Civil War, where like it's gonna have its fun, quippy moments, but it's gonna be deep and serious. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Mm-hmm.
I'd like to see something like that with Jurassic World.
Yeah. That's a good way to put it. Because
Yeah.
I with all these like blockbuster movies, there's been this like shift in tone through the years, and like every year, you look at the movies and you can see the shift because you get like the Dark Knight, and then everybody wants to make the Dark Knight, so every movie is depressing, and it's kind of a bummer because although the Dark Knight did it perfectly, the other movies can't, and I think we're starting to kind of I feel like we got out of that Dark Knight movie period, and right now we're in the moment where it's like there's a lot of really cool stuff on screen, there's a lot of really intense stuff on screen, but then you also get your fun moments. Like it seems most blockbusters are doing that right now, and I think it's good. I like the balance.
Yeah. The Dark Knight was a game changer for sure.
Yeah, and unfortunately, because that movie was so good, it made a lot of bad movies, like The
Huh.
Amazing Spider-Man.
It's a good one. And so what's next?
um, Before we even get into the next one, I like to think that it's funny how we talked so much more about Jurassic World than we did Godzilla, but it's fine. So next, I want to talk about Star Wars because I'm curious, when are we getting the next trailer? I know that at Comic Con, they didn't even show a trailer. They showed that bit of that featurette where it showed the behind the scenes footage, which I thought was really just pretty awesome. And watching that footage, it really shows you how much the people who are making this movie care about the movie. That being said, you know, I want to see the next trailer. I want to see Luke in the trailer. You know what I mean? I want to see Leia and Lando. I know Lando's not in it, but wouldn't that be great if he showed up in the trailer for no reason?
Yeah, that would be. That'd be funny.
So,
But I think it's gonna come out in October. Like, guys, we're almost in August. That means one more month, and then this movie's pretty close.
yeah. So,
So yeah, I say October.
I'm gonna guess uh, late September, early October. Um, and the reason I'm guessing that is because I feel like what they're gonna do is they're gonna put out that trailer. I think there's gonna be like one TV spot or something before that trailer.
Yeah, I think that we'll see TV spots, but
I don't think there'll be many TV spots though, and I think they're gonna put it out more likely early October. Um, and then I think it's gonna be kind of just a bunch of TV spots after that, and then like some international trailers or whatever. But at the same time, this movie is hard to tell how they're gonna market it because even J.J. Abrams said they're never gonna put out a trailer that isn't as authentic as the movie itself. Like they're they care about this movie so much that they're not gonna put out some sloppy put together trailer.
yeah, I want Universal to care as much about Jurassic World as Disney cares about Star Wars.
Yes. And I am so excited for this movie because of the way the people that are making it talk about it and market it, and they just seem to care about this movie more than I've ever seen anybody care about like any other movie. Even just the subtle things they do. Do you remember when that news came out that the Millennium Falcon was going to be in the movie? Like somebody took a picture of something and it looked like the Millennium Falcon or something, and everybody was freaking out online. So J.J. Abrams wrote on a little note card or something that the idea that the Millennium Falcon is going to be in the movie is like ridiculous, and he put the note card on the chessboard in the Millennium Falcon, and then took a picture of it.
It's comedy.
Like everything they do about this movie, they treat it with such respect, and they know how important it is to just all the fans and them themselves. So I just can't wait to see the next thing. You know what I mean? And every time I see something from this movie, I cry. I told when after Comic-Con, I watched the Star Wars panel, and I'm watching it, and Harrison Ford comes out, and he just looks so happy. Or he doesn't. He's not like smiling like crazy or anything, but like he comes out, and Mark Hamill and Carrie Fisher had already been there, just for a little bit, and then, he comes out and he kisses Mark Hamill on the cheek, and he kisses Carrie Fisher on the lips, and he's talking about how Han Solo was, the biggest thing that ever helped his career, and that without the movie, like, he probably wouldn't have been the actor that he is today, and how he loved working on it, and he said it was the right people and the right environment, and he's saying all this stuff, and I'm in my laptop just fucking sobbing, and my brother comes in my room, and he's like, dude, what are you doing? And I'm like, he's happy. He's happy, and he's so nice. And he's like, what are you talking about? And I'm like, Han Solo! Everything about this movie just gets me so emotionally invested. And it's because they care, and I think they're going to carry that through all their trailers and TV spots. And I doubt there's going to be that many. Because, like I said, they said that every trailer is going to be as authentic as the movie itself. And when a movie like Avengers comes out, which I don't hate the way they market it, other than all the spoilers, but they have 50 TV spots and 10 trailers. And it's just a lot. And I think what we're going to get with Star Wars is a couple of TV spots, a couple of trailers. I just went off on a huge Star Wars rant. So
not a rant. Because a rant is saying that you don't like it.
Yeah, but still.
Awesome.
I rambled, but I love Star Wars. Give me Star Wars!
They don't need a lot to market that movie.
Yeah, I know. I mean,
it's already gonna make a ton of money.
Harrison Ford said Chewie were home in one trailer, and an entire generation of nerds cried. They don't need much else. So, what else is there to? Oh yeah. I want to talk about this new Kong movie because there's been some news and developments that have been coming out with actors leaving, actors joining, and we're wondering, about what this movie could be and how these actors are so great, they got to be signing on for a reason. And my question is this thing going to get a rated R rating? Like, are they going to go... Is it going to be super adult, which I think would be a very cool thing to do? Because, honestly, I want that. Because I think King Kong is could be told so well as an adult story. Not just your average PG-13 blockbuster.
Yeah.
I want this movie to be something special.
I don't think it's going to be rated R, but, if any of the big kaiju movies that are coming out are going to be rated R, it's going to be King Kong, because Godzilla is not going to be Yeah. But big actors, I mean, they'll sign on to PG-13 movies. It's just like not as rare. Like, can you imagine if one of these actors wanted to go for like their Oscar with this movie?
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking because I I know this sounds kind of like it doesn't really make that much sense when I think about it, but they had J.K. Simmons and
And Michael
Michael
Keaton.
Keaton, who were nothing but Oscar buzz in 2014. That's all they had was Oscar buzz.
Both of them.
And
And they picked their follow-up movies very carefully after that.
yeah,
Well,
so
like J.K. Simmons was in Terminator Genesis. That hasn't gotten super reviews, but
I totally
he's not
forgot
a
he's in that movie.
he's not a big character in it.
Was he good in it?
Yeah, he's never not good.
He's even good in those friggin' commercials. The "We are farmers," bum ba dum bum bum bum. I buy
Yeah.
him every time. But
Dude,
I mean, they have gone after, Oscar award-winning, Oscar-nominated actors for this movie, and I really wonder, is this going to be a movie where somebody could get an Oscar? And I mean, I know that for some reason blockbusters aren't super acknowledged, which is fine because I think that blockbusters have their place, and that place is dominating box office, and then let the independent movies shine in the Oscars so they can make some money. That being said, though, there's a lot of times there's Oscar buzz for the people who really kind of deserve it in these movies, and it's kind of sad that sometimes they really won't get the Oscar nomination buzz. But sometimes it does happen because people really want to see these people win. Like Andy Serkis last year, people were saying like, "Oh, you got to give him a nomination for what he was able to do with Dawn of the Planet of the Apes," because he was that compelling as Caesar. And other people, people this year are saying, I mean, I don't necessarily totally agree. I don't totally disagree either. But people this year are saying Colin Firth in Kingsman deserves a nomination for supporting actor because he's really great. And also there was the buzz about Captain America.
Charlize Theron.
Yeah, for Mad Max, and then there was also buzz in 2014 about Captain America 2 being nominated for Best Picture. So with all these things in mind, that's why I really question, can this Kong movie be one of those movies where
I think so.
I'm thinking, is this going to be the movie, the blockbuster that's going to go after a lot of Oscar nominations?
Dude, this could be the first.
I mean,
Think about it. Russell Crowe talking about it.
Russell Crowe,
reverse.
Brie Larson. I don't remember if they added somebody else.
No, I don't think so.
I haven't heard any news. And like it's Tom Hiddleston. With all the
Dude,
Michael
we
Keaton.
totally freaking forgotten about
Yeah,
Tom Hiddleston.
with all the Michael Keaton, J.K. Simmons news where they're dropping out, everybody seems to be forgetting that Tom Hiddleston is still in this movie, and he is an incredible actor. Like, no matter what role he's playing. And one of the best Marvel villains they got right now.
The best.
I say best cinematic villain, and
Kingpin's
I think Kingpin's really great too. I always debate between the two of them, but Tom Hiddleston, when he performs, has such a humble confidence to him. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And he's just so great, and there are so many great actors in this movie. And I really liked the last King Kong movie, but I want to see what they could do with it now. Like, I have all the confidence in the world that this movie could get a Best Picture nomination.
This could be the game changer.
That's what I'm hoping for, man. I want this movie because I feel like Dawn of the Planet of the Apes was almost that game changer.
Almost, but
It
not
was
quite.
almost.
Not quite.
Not quite. And I really liked that movie. I don't think it was the best movie of the year, but I really liked it, and I thought that what they were able to do with it was fantastic. And now I just want to see. I think with King Kong, you could make it super adult themed. And that's the thing about the Oscars too, is the Oscars generally recognize rated R movies, and that's something that you could look at. If you look at all the movies that have won Best Picture, I think 70% of them are rated R. So that's not me just being like, oh, they only recognize R movies, because they do some PG-13 movies. That being said, though, they have a better shot with the rated R movie.
Yeah. So yeah, Kong Skull Island, best movie ever.
Yeah, I'm hoping it's gonna be. Here's a question that I really want to ask, because I don't think anybody talks about it. I'm sure people are talking about it, I just haven't heard much about it. Do you think they're gonna bring in Andy Serkis to beat Kong?
No. That'd be awesome, but no.
And who do you
He's
get?
so busy.
Who do you get to replace him?
You don't have to do mocap.
I mean, I thought they would, though. I mean, King Kong.
Well, the reason Andy Serkis was in King Kong was because of his relationship with Peter Jackson.
Yeah, but the thing with that last King Kong movie is, I thought Andy Serkis was. I think he brought so much to King Kong. Just all the little nuances in his face. Andy Serkis works like a crazy person to be a good monkey. That's
yeah. Also, I'd like to point out something with Kong.
Yeah.
These actors, a lot of them, are not used to signing on to blockbusters, which means that it has to have a good script.
Yeah. Well, I mean, J.K. Simmons was in Spider-Man. Michael Keaton was Batman.
That's
Loki,
forever
Loki
ago.
is, or Tom Hiddleston is Loki. Russell Crowe is in Man of Steel, and I don't know what Brie Larson is in. So.
But they're far and few between.
Yeah, I just like to mention though that you said they don't sign on to blockbusters, and I just named all their blockbusters.
You've named 3 movies.
I said Spider-Man.
They've each done a couple blockbusters.
Yeah.
How long ago was Batman?
Batman was in the 80s and 90s.
Your argument is invalid.
So, I was going to ask though. It was about the motion capture thing. If they were to do motion capture, who would you like to see do it? Because I am going to say, just because of Dawn of the Planet of the Apes, since they can't, or since they're probably not going to get Andy Serkis, which hopefully, I mean, they do, but I think they should get Toby Kebbell, because he did the motion capture for Koba, and I think Koba was the best part of that movie. I thought he did a better job than Andy Serkis, and that's crazy. And I'd like to see that be duplicated. And one last thing I want to point out about the whole motion capture thing is CinemaSins made a video of everything wrong with King Kong, and there was a scene where they showed King Kong screaming, and Andy Serkis said, Jeremy Scott, the guy from CinemaSins, said, Andy Serkis isn't winning an Oscar in this scene, which I think is basically how I feel.
Can you imagine if Andy Serkis won an Oscar for Kong Skull Island? That'd be crazy.
That would be crazy. That would make me feel so happy, because that dude deserves something for all the work he's put into those motion capture.
Yeah, forget his millions of dollars. Give him an Oscar.
No, I mean, just... I guess it's not that important, now that you make it sound like that. But I mean,
it's not like he's getting paid for it or anything.
I just want to see him recognized by the old people who run the Oscars.
I'm just joshing.
Well, you did make me feel really stupid. So
Payback for the Oscar thing. For the blockbuster thing.
Okay, I'm sorry. So, is there anything else to talk about? I think we ran through our list.
Nah.
J.K. Simmons for J. Jonah Jameson 2016. Please.
Maybe that's why he had to cancel his.
That's what I've been saying.
Island.
He had to leave Skull Island so he could be J. Jonah again. I've been saying that forever. Since that happened.
Really?
Yeah.
You've been saying that forever since it happened a month ago.
I've been saying that he has to come back forever. You gotta get back J. Jonah or J.K. Simmons. I get their names confused because they're the same person to me.
They're the same.
When I see J.K. Simmons, I see J. Jonah Jameson. When I see J. Jonah Jameson, I see J.K. Simmons. They're a blurred amalgamation of two character, one person, one character.
Also, he looks great for how old he is.
Yeah, exactly.
If you look at him in Whiplash, the dude has muscles.
Yeah, and he's got like a vein in his head. It bothered me. I'm sorry.
Parker.
Shut up. Get out. Does anybody ask what I want?
I care. It's like, does anybody care what I want?
Yeah.
I care.
Shut up. Get out. Or what was?
Also, what's his thing? He's a hero. He's a
menace. Call Deborah. Tell her not to open the caviar.
Awesome.
And
you're awesome.
What was the one? I can't remember the name of the woman. He says, but he's like, I think he's like, how come we could get a picture of Barbra Streisand in the thong, but we can't get a picture of Spider-Man? Something like that. Please have that happen. Marvel.
Also, that's great writing.
Yeah.
He needs to have good writers.
Or the scene when they're trying to come up with a name for Dr. Octopus, and I can't remember the guy's name, but he's Sam Raimi's brother. And he's like, "What about Dr. Octopus?"
That's Sam Raimi's brother?
Yeah, that's Sam Raimi's brother. He's like, "How about Dr. Octopus?" And he's like, "No, too stupid or whatever." And he's like, Dr. Scientist or something. I don't know. And he's like, Dr. Strange.
Dr. Squid.
He's like, Dr. Strange. And he's like, oh, that's good.
But
it's taken. And then J. Jonah Jameson goes, I got it. Dr. Octopus.
Ock.
Yeah. It just totally steals Sam Raimi's brother's name.
Forever known as Sam Raimi's brother.
Yeah, that's his name. Sam Raimi's brother. Well, I think we talked enough about stupid stuff and things. So, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I hope you like it, because the last video, like I said, it got 120 likes. It was so awesome to see how you guys are responding. And just like, comment, favorite, subscribe, be great people, don't do drugs, and live your full inner J. Jonah Jameson to the extreme.
Parker.
Peter Becker.
Parker.
It's got weird. Alright, see you guys.